Welcome back to The Person Everyone Needs. I'm Webb Hoggard, and today I'm again with Kevin Stewart, my friend. So today we were trying to hit this up on the last podcast, but I got really excited about your questions, Kevin. So today you're not interviewing, I'm interviewing, but we're going to be, we're both boy dads, and Kevin, of course, is a lot older than I am. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. Super old. In fact, last year, praise God. Last year, he had a son who got married. He's got another son that is about to. Oh, he's in the workforce. Okay, so he's done. He has graduated. So you're just a little bit ahead of me and those types of things in the parenting world. Today, Kevin, I want you to talk to us about parenting a little bit, and then one of the things I like to say on this podcast often is, what is something that is sometimes hard to say, which you and I are communicators, so we probably say it, but what is something that you would want your sons to know, no matter what, even if it's hard to communicate to them? What is something that you think that they need to know, and you want to make sure that they did know that from your leadership, from your parenting in them? So anyway, take it away, Kevin. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
All right, here I am one more time. So yeah, I am deeply privileged to have two boys, Samuel, and who is married now, married my sweet daughter-in-law, Ellie, and she is a dear soul. And she's from Mayberry. Andy Griffin. She doesn't know Andy, but she is from there. And they're living in Virginia Beach now. And I have the honor and the privilege of being able to work with my son. He works with me on my other job apart from pastoring, and that's a huge what a great joy as a dad to be able to have your son work with you. And then my youngest son, Noah, just graduated from Chowan University, and the university actually hired him. Didn't want to let him go, and so we thought it best that they didn't fail him so that they could keep him and just instead hire him, give him money to come back. And so he's working there as a staff accountant.
And just as like being your pastor, being their pastor kind of thing, Kevin has done, I don't know if it has anything to do with Kevin.
Probably not.
But these two boys are two of the most incredible human beings I know. I am so proud of them and so excited about their futures. And so, Kevin, you're one of the reasons I want to ask your thoughts on parenting is because your boys turned out really well, but it may just be them.
Yeah,
so,
it probably has a lot to do with them.
Or your wife. I mean, again, those Hoggards.
Yeah, my wife and my boys. But I appreciate that. I've got two amazing kids. So Noah has come back home. He's living at home. He's no longer in the dorms. He's moved back into his room. Which I'm thrilled about. Stephanie and I have told both of our boys, you can live with us as long as you want, but you got to get a job, and you got to start working, and so they have done that. And he's going to move on at some point, but allow him to get his wings. So what question you got for me?
So the question, first of all, I mean, I would take any parenting advice you might have, like just what you feel like you've learned, what you wish you would have got righter, maybe on this side of it.
Wow.
But then I want you to kind of land the plane on if you could put into words, what do you just want to make sure that your sons definitely know from you?
Sure. There's a lot that I could have gotten righter in life, in teaching and helping to train my boys. You know, let me just say, anybody that is raising kids, we got to have God's help. Without God's help in our lives, raising our children, especially in today's world, I don't know how you do it, and need the wisdom of Christ to give you understanding and wisdom when you're dealing with different circumstances. But I can truly say for my kids, and that's why I say, it probably has a lot to do with them and my wife, is that my boys, and just trying to think back, even now, just sitting here thinking back, they truly never, some people talk about teenage years, the teenage and how horrible teenage years were or whatever. And my boys really never gave me any issues. I'm truly blessed. They, did they do some stupid things? Yeah, they did some stupid things as I did, but they never gave me any issues, and I didn't have to worry about where they were going to be, where they were going. They probably spent more time at home than they spent anywhere, besides at whatever sport they were playing. At practice, they were at school, at sporting practice, or at home. They would invite their friends to come over to our house, hang out at our house. Noah, well, both of them, Noah and Samuel, would go over to a couple of their friends' house, but we definitely knew who they were, and those friends had spent a lot of time at our house, knew who their parents were, and so I never had to worry about. They have told me the truth. Have they lied? Yeah, they probably did about a couple things, but the truth came out, and it wasn't. Anyhow, they have been truly a joy to parent. Both my boys have been a joy to parent. One thing that I did that I have always done, and I think if you had asked them what is one thing your dad says to you at all times, and one thing that I've always tried to instill in them is that represent Jesus well. And whatever you do, whatever you say, wherever you go, represent Jesus well. Because people are always watching. People are always, you say you love Jesus. You say you are a believer. You tell your friends you go to church, all those things. Well, if those are the things you're going to say, then represent him well with your words, with your actions. I remember one story, I think it was Samuel, was telling me that he was telling me at the time, like after it had happened, and he was in 7th grade or something like that, if I remember correctly. My remember is going, because as you said, I'm much older than you. And he was telling me how at the lunch table that several of the boys at the lunch table were trying to get him to say a curse word because they knew he didn't say them, and so they were trying, just come on, say it, just say it one time, and he wouldn't do it. To me, that was, you're representing Jesus well, because you had a standard. You had set a standard in your life, and you lived by it, and they knew that you lived by it. So that's representing Jesus well. So that was my first thing that I always told them, represent Jesus well. And the other thing that I always told them is represent your Stewart name well, because your Stewart name means something. Your name means something. I think that's important for every child, for every kid, to realize that your name means something. There's been people in the past that your name means something. Your grandparents, your parents. Maybe you're someone listening to this and you're like, yeah, you don't know my family. You don't know my name. Meant a lot, but it was not for the good side. And I encourage, if that's you listening to this, I encourage you start it differently for your family.
I think that's also why it says that Jesus gives us a new name.
Right?
Exactly. Even if you don't have one that you can be proud of, that's why God calls Gideon out of his shame, right?
Yeah.
I'm the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lowest clan, And it's like, yeah, well, you're a mighty man of valor.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so names mean something. So represent that well.
Yes.
When you go out, those were my two big rules. I didn't do a lot of other stuff, but those two were very consistent in life, all through their life from the time. The other thing, as a boy dad, so as you know, boys, I had a sister. I still have a sister, Anita. If you're listening, I love you very much. But it's probably a little different than with her. But as having two boys and as you having three boys, they can get in arguments. They can get. I remember one. If they're listening to this, we've talked about it before. But Noah got mad at Samuel for something and threw his belt at him, and the belt buckle ended up hitting him in the mouth and knocked a tooth out.
Oh,
and
no.
That was devastating for Samuel, because Samuel's like, teeth are his big thing. Teeth are his pride. And so to lose it, it was not a good situation. But I say that to say they got over it quickly, and they made up quickly, and they never fought, fist fighting hand in hand, and they got in arguments, they got upset with each other, they got on each other's nerves, but they truly got along really well. In fact, today they're probably best friends. They hang out a lot, which I'm really thrilled about. Noah goes up to Samuel and hangs out with Samuel at his house in Virginia Beach, and they go meet somewhere and go play tennis together or
But
soccer
Samuel does
together or
not
golf
come to us
together.
very much.
Yeah, Samuel doesn't.
He does not.
He
It seems like he doesn't
hang
miss
out with
us at
a whole
all.
lot, yeah. He's not missing us a lot, Samuel. But when they were really little, I told them, I said, listen, you're the only brothers you'll ever have. And when no one else is there, you'll find out you'll be there for each other. When everybody else is left, you'll still have a brother. So how you treat them now is how you may treat them in the future. And you better remember he's the only brother you have, and vice versa. So treat them well. Love them. You don't have to always get along with them. You may disagree with them, but love them. And because they're your family, and family matters. And they started growing that bond young.
It's an amazing thing, Kevin. I'm pretty sure that has to be generational. And then I'm going to say a comment about your family that you came from. You also have two brothers.
Yeah.
You have a sister, but you also have two brothers. Yeah. And I have had the tremendous, and I don't make this up because you're on the podcast, I count it as some of the biggest blessings of my life that I've gotten to be around your family. There was one Christmas that I got to kind of be a fly on the wall during y'all's Christmas get-together. And the genuineness, the love that you had, unless you all paid each other to really put it on, it was remarkable how much you genuinely care about each other. And then you and I have spent some time together, and every time there's a phone call from Lloyd, or there's a phone call from Anita, or there's a phone call from Dave, or there's a phone call from Dad, and it is genuine love. I've heard you pray for your brothers on phone calls. The love that is in your family is now a generational blessing. And I'm grateful that I've just got to view it. Now, I have a wonderful family. I'm not comparing. What I'm just saying is the love I see in Sam and Noah for one another is just perfectly indicative of what I've seen in Emily and Tiffany and I messed up, Andrea. But just there is such a love for one another. Yeah. And to hear you say that you were very intentional about building that, I'd love to know how you built that intentionally, but we don't have time today. But it is such a blessing, and I think I want you to keep talking about it. That's the book you need to write. How do you build a family that genuinely cares that you're continuing to be around each other? Well, today, before we leave, Kevin, what is something you want your boys to definitely know? Like if this was your last will and testament, let's get morbid. If you could say that you want...
For me, that's not a good thing because, well, you're already crying, so thanks a lot. But, yeah. Man, if this were it, I just want my boys to know I love them. And I'm proud of them. They're incredible men. I want them to do greater things than I ever did. I want them to go far and way beyond in life than what I ever did. And I want them to know that they're incredibly special to God. And they were created in God's image, not anybody else. They were created in God's image. And they're men of God who are going to do incredibly great things in life. And I just want them to know how deeply honored and proud I am to be their dad.
Wow. Well, Sam and Noah, Luke, Jude, and Graham, you're the person that everyone needs.